We are finally going home. Everyone has been very, very excited this evening because obviously when the Millwall v Brighton game ended, we all knew that we're going to be playing Crystal Palace for the first ever Premier League game at the new stadium. Now, this video, I actually asked a Crystal Palace fan, Harvey, and a number of Spurs fans their thoughts on the match and the fact that we are moving back home. Now, when I say that we are going home, we truly are going home. I think this is going to be a lot different to any other football club just moving in a stadium. We are going home. We are on the same site. People will be parking in the same places. They will be going to the same train station. They will be walking to the stadium in exactly the same way as they did White Hart Lane. This is not a different place. It is exactly on the same site. So we really are going home. I simply cannot wait. I know a lot of Spurs fans are extremely excited today. So here are their thoughts. Come on, you Spurs.
We're going up! We're going up! We're going up! We're going!
Hi there guys, Harvey here from the Red and Blue Site YouTube channel, Crystal Palace fan. Sending in a quick clip to you guys on Chris's channel talking about the confirmed news now that Crystal Palace will be the first team to play Tottenham Hotspur at the new White Hart Lane. Exciting news, I think, from both sets of fans, both clubs. Tottenham, of course, this is a big moment. You guys have been waiting for this for so long, Spurs fans, and to just see these clips going around social media of the inside and the different features in the ground, for example, it is exciting stuff. And even as a Palace fan looking at that, I'm very, very jealous of you guys. It's an amazing ground, an amazing stadium, something that I think Palace fans, hopefully further down the line with our planned stadium expansions, that we're going to have something, not similar, because we're not going to have a 60,000 seater stadium anytime soon, but create an atmosphere that ground's going to create. The way that single tier behind the goal, like the yellow wall that Dortmund have, that's going to be amazing on big nights, European nights in the future, etc. North London derbies in the future. That it's just going to be an amazing atmosphere, I think, and it's set up for the big games, and it's what Spurs needed moving forward. And yeah, as a Palace fan, and I'm sure as most Palace fans would tell you right now, it's it's a bit of history to be the first team to play Spurs in the new stadium, and it's been confirmed now that Brighton have beaten Millwall in the FA Cup quarter-final. Don't get me wrong, I would have rather have beaten Watford in the quarter-final of the FA Cup and focused on the FA Cup, and I don't know how things would have changed if we did win our FA Cup game the other day against Watford. But I'm very, very excited. I think most Palace fans will be trying to get a ticket absolutely right as soon as possible. In terms of how I think the Spurs will do in the new ground, I think that like any new ground, it may take time to settle in, because at the end of the day, you've been at Wembley for a while and it's been ages since you've had a home. So to settle into a new ground may take a few games, and because of that, I think it may, as much as it will play into your hands, of course, being back home at White Hart Lane, it will play into Palace's hands quite a bit as well. It's going to be a massive occasion, and the pressure will be all on Spurs to get a win on your debut in the new stadium. Anything less than that will be a bit demoralising, I think, amongst the fans. So there is a good chance that we can go there as a good away side, as a counter-attacking team, and cause problems and kind of crash the party, if you like. So that excites me a bit. That I think it's not going to be as one-sided as I think it would be if it was at Wembley. I'm a bit more confident actually going to your new ground. Now, other Palace fans may disagree, and I'm sure that Tottenham will win on the day. I'm just saying this right now. But I think there is a better chance of us beating you first game at your new ground, funnily enough, because I think that as away fans, we're going to go and do what we do best. And that will obviously, and the new ground, you never know. You never know. I'm just saying, I'm putting it out there. I think it just plays into our hands a bit as a counter-attacking side. Now, looking at the ground itself, I think that obviously the delays have been a big talking point. As I mentioned earlier, you've waited so long for this. Is this the right time for it to happen? What we got 4, maybe 5 home games left for Spurs. I'm not sure. I have to check that. But I know it's only like 7 games left of this season, 7 or 8 games for certain teams. I personally think that if this was a few months ago when you were still in the title race, you were at that point, I believe, just before you played us in the FA Cup, still in the FA Cup, obviously still in the Champions League. Absolutely, it was a good time to do it. Now, less so, I think. I know you're still in the Champions League, but you're only, at the end of the day, you're only going to have 2 more games at home in the Champions League if you go all the way to the final. So, in my mind, I think that now that you're out the title race, I think there was more pressure on you moving into your new ground whilst you were still in the title race, because I know for a fact with some Spurs fans that I know that they wanted to get in there now, let's do it, let's get that build up and that, that relief from the fans, and, everyone can now get behind the team more and, create that atmosphere, and it'll be a boost for everyone involved with Tottenham Hotspur if we can get into the new ground now and help with the title race. Now that you're out the title race and it's really just it is just the Champions League left, it may be wiser to wait till the start of next season and make it more of more of an occasion, first game of the new season, and start fresh, because I think you've coped very well at playing at Wembley, especially this season. You've got a good record at Wembley. I think you would have coped just fine in the Champions League. It is City at the end of the day, and maybe playing City in your new ground, that could play into your hands a bit better, because new pitch and a big game, those are the sort of nights, Champions League nights, that you'll want to be in your new ground. And I can understand from a Spurs point of view why you'd want that. I think from the outside looking in, I think it would have been better for you to have moved in whilst you're still in a number of competitions, including the title race. Now that you're out of a lot of the things, and I think if we're being realistic, I don't think Spurs are going to win the Champions League. It may have been better to wait till the start of next season. That's my personal point of view, but it's happening, and I'm very happy for you guys as Spurs fans. I've got family who are Spurs fans as well. I know they're going to be absolutely buzzing. As I said, the stadium is just outstanding from the clips I've seen. I'm definitely going to be making sure I do whatever I can to make sure I get an away ticket for the game. Hopefully see some of you guys there. But yeah, I can't wait to go. I'm sure the atmosphere is going to be incredible from the Spurs fans. I hope it is anyway. First game in the new stadium, I don't think there's any excuses for the atmosphere to not be good. And I know the Palace fans will make a big occasion of it as well. First away team at the new White Hart Lane, so a bit of history there. And hopefully, from a Palace point of view, we crashed the party, but I'm sure you're going to have many happy years, and hopefully have some trophy for Spurs fans anyway. Hopefully, some trophies to take home to your new stadium. So, big news coming out. Those are my thoughts. Thank you very much for getting in touch with me, Chris.
Tottenham Hotspur fans, absolutely fantastic. Lee McQueen here from Last Word on Spurs, and obviously Love Sport. I can't believe it. We're finally going home. We know now the date. The new White Hart Lane is going to be a midweek game against Crystal Palace due to the different cup results. And I'm absolutely delighted. I cannot wait. There's some people sort of saying Saturday would have been better, maybe Wednesday. I, for one, under the lights, I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. We've all been waiting for this. My season ticket's in the wall, so block 252. I cannot wait to get back in there, to get back home, and to roar the boys on to success. I absolutely think, I'm convinced, absolutely convinced, that we'll win every game there. So it'll be a lovely prelude, I suppose, for the Man City game, which is the following week. Gives us 6 days recovery as well, I think, or a week's recovery before that game. And it's just going to be magnificent. Welcome home, Tottenham Hotspur. Come on, you Spurs.
Oh, it's a cashless bar.
Oh, snap. Yeah.
So you wait an extra 6 months to be able to go to the new White Hart Lane, and then all of a sudden, half a dozen games come along altogether. Who'd have thunk it? Anyway, we're now going back to White Hart Lane on the 3rd of April. Been sat here all afternoon, hoping and praying that Millwall were going to do us a favour. Nah, not going to happen. How fitting it would have been to have had Mr. Houghton come back, old Chrissy boy, come back to White Hart Lane for the first game, but sadly not to be. But I suppose now we're going to have to go and butter the boss up so that we can get a Wednesday off, because I ain't missing it. I'm coming home and I'm going to enjoy it. And I think we're going to win every single game till the end of the season. Up the Spurs.
I'm Jordan, really excited for the first game at the new stadium against Crystal Palace. Like everyone else, I'm sure we're expecting a win. I'm sure the atmosphere will be outstanding that day, and as usual, Spurs fans should be a full voice back home where we belong. Very, very excited. We've got world-class players, no reason why we won't win, and with world-class players, they perform on the big stage. So I'm really excited for it, and yeah, I think we're going to win. Up the Spurs.
Good afternoon from Weymouth, South Dorset Spurs. I've got here Tony.
Good afternoon.
And it's me, Jace. Just watched the Brighton versus Millwall game. No favours whatsoever there. We're going to be starting at New White Hart Lane on April the 3rd on a Wednesday afternoon. What do you think about that, Tony?
Wednesday afternoon. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's another afternoon off work. Bastards.
Excuse the swearing now.
Oh, yes.
I was going to swear.
Custards,
Tony.
Custards.
Yeah, for me too. It's going to be an absolute mare trying to get up to London on a Wednesday afternoon. A bit more time off work. I hope they're understandable. Is that the right word?
I think it is. Yeah.
Understandable. Yes. But we've got that in the Champions League a week after against Manchester City. But looking forward to the first game. What do you think the impact the new stadium will have on the players and just the team as a whole, Tony?
I think everyone will be excited. I think there will be a severe lack of atmosphere because everyone will be looking around the stadium going, oh, what's happening, blah, 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 blah. Where's my mate? Oh, he's over there. And then, I don't know, the football might kick off and we might enjoy it. But it'll be good. It'll be absolutely mental.
I'll be over there in the north stand, waving at Tony in the southwest corner.
I'll be in the southwest corner, just below one of the television sets, which looks quite big.
You'll be receiving major gamma rays off that bad boy, I'll tell you. It's huge. But yeah, we're both looking forward to the first game and all the games in New White Hart Lane. Let's hope we pass the test events and we can move forward. But let's hope we can get 3 points from that game and many more games going forward. You, Tony?
Yeah, I've just been looking at the calendar with Jason and it's an absolute mare trying to fit in all the dates, but we will make most of them. But it's going to be a rush towards the end of the season. And Champions League, here we come again.
Champions League. Come on,
having a laugh.
Spurs. Having a laugh, we are.
Happy clappers.
Anyway, that's us signing off from Weymouth. Come on, you Spurs.
Goodbye. Come on.
What's up, guys? Sim from We Are Tottenham TV here. It's been confirmed, 3rd of April, Spurs are finally going home into the new stadium. It's been a long time coming after, last season it was confirmed we were going to be playing in September, and it's been a long wait, but finally Spurs will be heading home. It's going to be a really exciting game against Crystal Palace. I think they're not going to make it easy for us. I think they're a tough team. I know they're the lower ends of the league, but they've got dangerous players like Wilfried Zaha, Michy Batshuayi, who's on loan from Chelsea. So they do make it tough for the big boys, but the atmosphere is going to be electric. After spending nearly 2 seasons at Wembley, I think Spurs are sick of the sight of the Wembley Arch and the Wembley Way. We just want to get back home. And the stadium, I've been inside. It looks absolutely amazing. It looks like the best stadium in London, in my opinion. I think we can't wait to get back in there. I think Champions League nights as well. That's going to be really special under the lights at the new White Hart Lane. What more can I say? Absolutely buzzing to get back home, back to the new stadium, and looking forward to it. Come on, you Spurs.
Hey, what is up, everyone? It's George Achillea here, giving my thoughts on the fact that we will be moving back into White Hart Lane for next season at the beginning of next month. And it's confirmed Brighton won in the FA Cup, which means we'll not be playing them the first game. It is Crystal Palace on the 3rd of April, which is a Wednesday. Now, I actually wanted this result. A lot of fans maybe couldn't make it on the Wednesday, so they would rather Brighton lost. But I'm really happy that they managed to win that game, because I think our first game on a Wednesday in the floodlights in the new White Hart Lane Stadium, and the atmosphere will just be insane. Just like any midweek game, like when we have a Champions League match, it's always great at night. Plus, we'll have the new light show with the stadium. I think the atmosphere will be unreal for a midweek game. So I am very much looking forward to it. And now, a lot of people say that with the new stadium, teams don't really hit the ground running and they lose quite a few games. We did at the start with Wembley. However, this happened with Arsenal and us, obviously, at Wembley, and other teams when they get a new stadium. But their stadiums were not purposely built for atmosphere. West Ham, you're miles away. Arsenal, the Emirates, you're miles away. Like, it doesn't feel like an enclosed and great space to be in for fans to enjoy such a great atmosphere. So I think that we're going to come out roaring. I think we're going to be very loud, and we're going to put a lot of pressure on Crystal Palace for that first game. And I do think we'll get the first win at our new stadium. So that's my thoughts on the game. Come on, you Spurs.
So you've heard all of their thoughts. What are yours? Tell me in the comments section below how excited you are. I know some people didn't want the first game to be on a Wednesday night. A lot of people would have preferred Saturday. But let's face it, we have been waiting so long to get in here. Of course, the last day at White Hart Lane was May 2017. It just seems such a long time ago. So cannot wait. Anyway, tell me your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you very much for watching yet another video. Come on, you Spurs.